Hey everybody, this is the Old Man from the Old Man's Podcast Show on Podbean. And you're listening to my favorite podcast, The Opinionated Lushes. So sit back, crack open a cold one, get all comfy in that big old comfy chair, snuggle up, and get ready to enjoy these three ladies. They will not disappoint. Later, Gators.
Hey!
Hey! Hello,
How's
hello,
it
hello.
going?
It's going. I mean, we just talked about how it was going. If you want to hear those conversations in our pre-drink episodes on our Patreon, well, you know, the link is probably in the bio of this. So you should check that out.
Yeah. It might be. We'll see.
It's everywhere. Because we post that shit everywhere.
I know. Please like us.
Yeah.
It's been a week. I think it's just been a week. It's been a week for all of us. It's been the weekiest of weeks. You know, weeky week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weeky.
It's the shortest month, but the longest week.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
This week had 8 dadays for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what
It did, yeah. The 8 days started Wednesday. You know, that's what it felt like. Like it was good, and then bam, like it's just long ass week.
Yeah.
Well, like here in Ontario, we had a holiday on the Monday.
I had it on the Monday too.
And then Tuesday was a regular day, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday was like a snow day here in Ontario, but like it was ice day. And then today's Friday, and it still feels like it's been a week, like 2 weeks.
It was a short week, but it feels like it's so long.
Also, fucking holidays.
Longer when your kids are home.
Exactly. I've had my kids home the whole time.
My kids are always home.
I know, same. That's why I'm always like, oh my gosh. The week always feels longer when your kids are home.
Yeah.
6 months. My kids might be going to school.
Yeah.
6 months.
We're going to celebrate.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping the first week, and if they make it to the second week, then I'm gonna be day drinking, and then by the third week, I should be calibrated to where I'm like used to it now, and then it's just now I catch up on stuff that I didn't do those 2 weeks that I was sleeping and
catching up. Or like catching up on the stuff you haven't done since 1919, since 2019.
Yeah, like getting I'll go get my nails done maybe.
Yeah,
and we'll have mom dates. It'll be great.
The haircut. I'll stop shaving my head.
A real haircut.
A real one. A real one. Yeah. With
Jessica, what are you drinking tonight?
So my husband was doing groceries, and so he got me cheap grocery store beer. You know,
Ooh.
So it's 3 Speed Lager by Amsterdam Brewery. Very cheap cans, and there's 20% more in this can. It's actually 568 milliliters. Nice tall can. So it has
I was going to say, is that like a tall boy? But
yeah,
like,
it's a taller tall boy. It says like 20% larger than like a tall boy.
It's a tall. He can reach the top shelf.
Yeah. It's a giant tall boy.
I don't know if Amsterdam's like known for tall people, just tall beers. But so I'm drinking beer. It's not very strong. It's like 4.2%, but it's a nice light cheap beer,
which is good.
Nice.
I'm practicing if I'm ever on another guest drinking podcast because I feel like I sounded stupid last time.
I don't know. Yeah.
If you want to hear us on Drunk with Buds, where we badly rate beer, like
yeah. Sonia, what are you drinking tonight?
So I saw an advertisement or something where Tom Hanks was talking about cocaine.
I love Tom Hanks. I love cocaine.
So it's champagne and Diet Coke.
Because that makes sense.
What?
So like and then people were like,
champagne and Diet Coke reminds you of Tom Hanks. Like I get the Coke and Diet Coke thing.
No, this is the drink he said. He said he calls it Diet Cocaine. That's his drink. He said this is what it is. Like
I don't
made
think
it up.
Had cocaine, if that's what he's called. Diet.
It's because it's Coke and champagne together. So
it's cane with a G.
Yes. There you go. go.
There
We're all caught up. We're all caught up. And like,
we got it.
everybody's like, good. Soup, noodle soup. So I'm trying it. We'll see. We'll try.
You take it. We want to know your review.
Yeah.
So I hate champagne. Let's start with that.
Okay.
It's not terrible. It's not like how he was going on. It's the best thing ever. Drink it.
You might like champagne, so maybe that's why.
You might like champagne, but like it's kind of like it gives me like sangria vibes, but like
Coke? Imagine like cherry Coke with champagne
or vanilla Coke.
Yeah, or
we could
vanilla, like
we
a
could have
flavor
flavors
Coke?
of cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks, okay, like he did good. I don't hate it, but like
Maybe you should have done a sweet wine instead of a champagne. Because champagne can be really bitter.
Let's take that off the table altogether. Let's just drink sangria.
I only like champagne if it's with orange juice. That's like it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, can't do it.
I can do it.
You have to try it with the Coke. I'm like, I don't hate it. It's all right. I don't hate it.
I feel like the bubbles like combat the other bubbles. Do you think the bubbles?
I had it in bubbles, so it's fine.
I sit it for a little bit. Like I had it open on the counter because bubbles hurt my nose. So the bubbles did kill all the other bubbles. Got it. Mm-hmm.
There was a whole war.
It was a bubble war.
The bubble war.
Yeah.
And now, Dawn, after her weeky week, what are you drinking?
A ball of espresso Baileys, like the whole fucking thing. I was gonna mix it with my Starbucks like Frappuccino case of drinks I got at Costco, but I was all like, no, I don't want a chaser. I just want this. Like,
I'm just gonna drink. Well, it's like a nice. You can drink Bailey's on its own. Like it's not a drink you have to mix.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
I was gonna like dilute it with the coffee just to like prolong my drinking, but then I'm like, why do I want to prolong it? I want to get drunk faster, so I'm just gonna drink it the whole thing.
Just drink it,
and then you can always switch to the Starbucks drink after to kind of trick yourself into thinking you're still drinking. You can actually pour. You just pour it. Well, you don't. The alcohol put you out. This is just to like keep you going until you want to sleep. You could like pour it like in your Bailey's bottle once it's empty. To like then trick your brain into drinking more Baileys.
Still drinking.
I'm just imagining her like drunk trying to like pour one in the other.
Here's a funnel.
Yeah.
All right. So our topic for the day is: have you ever found a wallet full of money and kept it for yourself? Is the topic. Hold on. And the word is this isn't even a real word. Greased? Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say great, but it's GREAST.
Greased.
Maybe
it's
greased.
It's greased. Oh no.
Well,
have you found anything and kept it to yourself? Like, or do you always return things? Do you ever like finders, keepers, losers, weepers?
If I see the person drop the thing, then I'll go and I'll run and I'll give it to them. Or if it's something very valuable in like a place where I can like drop it off somewhere, like at the mall or something, and you just take it to the info desk or whatever, then I'm like, I'll do that. But if it's like on the sidewalk, it looks like it probably was there for a while, no one's around looking for it, then might as well keep it.
Might as well. I try to do my due diligence. Like you find something, you post it on Facebook in groups, like, was this anyone's? And if no one claims it, I feel like it's a finder's fee. Like I feel like that. Yeah.
So Nicholas actually has a story, not me, because I'm not lucky enough to find anything. We came back from Toronto one time, and the lady got off the train with us, and I guess she dropped her debit card. Nicholas picked it up. He's like, ma'am, he's screaming for her. She did not want to listen to him. And she literally ran from him. Like, he's like, I guess I'm keeping it. Like,
yeah, it's mine now.
Yeah, he never used it, obviously, because that would be bad. But he was just
yeah, you didn't find her bank account. You just found the card.
Well, no, you can still tap, like, right? Like,
yeah, but that's stealing. That's stealing.
Yeah,
that's not.
That's what I mean. Like, he was just like, no, I won't do that. But like, he tried to give like her debit card back, and she was just like running away from him.
He's like, what's this weird kid want with me?
Yeah, leave me
alone. Don't forget, my kid is like 6'3", so he is kind of intimidating.
No, he's not. He's 20 pounds. Like, he's
no, he's not.
Like,
he's like a beanpole.
He's like
tiny. No.
Yeah,
no,
he's so scrawny.
Like,
I saw him at Christmas. He's
okay, he broke his leg. Okay, listen.
And now his leg's broken, so like he's not working out anytime soon. So
exactly, and like, so like his chest kind of got bigger. Like, I'm not saying my kid is fat or anything. Hold on, but my kid did beef up a little in the chest area and not in the legs. So it's gonna be interesting when he's starting to walk. Because he had to hold himself up, so like now his chest muscles are kind of built, but his legs are like sticks, so it's weird looking.
He's a little awkward guy.
Yeah,
I have a
like
triangle story. Little triangle.
Yeah.
So I was at Walmart one time, and I came out of the store, and I found this debit card on the cement. I was like, oh shit, someone dropped their debit. So then I brought it into customer service, and then I got home and I was like, oh, I want a coffee. And then I went into Tim Hortons and I went to pay for my drink. It was my fucking debit card I dropped, so I had to like go all the way back to Walmart. And I went all the way back to Walmart. I'm like, oh, like, remember me? Like, can I have that card back? It's actually mine. And then they're like, oh, like, you need to show ID. And then I didn't have ID, so I had to go home and get my passport and come back. Like, it was interesting.
Oh my god,
that's my finders keepers. I have another one if anyone has one.
Oh, I was gonna say I have a time I lost my wallet story, and someone did bring it back.
Oh,
so yay. Yeah, so it has a happy ending, but getting there was interesting. So I ended up going out with a coworker I met at a new job, and she took me to like this little like one of those like prohibition bars, you know, like try to look like a speakeasy kind of thing. And we went there. Yeah, and she was like, you know, drinking old fashions, and I was like, oh, what is that? She's like, it's like straight alcohol with like ice. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try it and be cool and drink an old fashioned too. Like, you know, I'm just trying to fit
bitters.
Okay?
It's nothing special.
It's disgusting. Actually, I prefer my whiskey with Coke. But you know, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to like, you know, make friends. I don't know. And then she's like, no, okay, we're going to go meet up people at this other bar. Now, I don't even know where the hell we are because this is not in my area. So I'm just following her to like these bars, you know, thinking we're hanging out. And then she gets up and she's like, oh, my Uber's almost here, when we're like shit-faced at the second bar. And she like leaves with like her boyfriend or something to like go to her house. And so here I was in a strange bar, shit-faced. Ended up meeting a couple that were like, do you need a ride? I was like, yes, thank you. So they actually took me all the way home, which was across the city, and dropped me off. And then Chris let me in the door. Everything was fine. It was shitty of her to do, but everything was fine. But then I wake up the next morning, and you know, the anxious after a drunken night feeling, like, you know, something happened, but you don't know what it is. So I get up and I'm like, you know, looking through my purse, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, oh, I can't find my wallet. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sleep some more and then deal with it because I am not in the headspace. But while I'm sleeping, I get a phone call from private number. So private number usually means a couple things of who could be calling, but I answer it. Hi, this is so-and-so from the Hamilton Police Department. May I ask who I'm talking to, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, Jessica. He's like, did you lose a wallet by any chance? And I was like, yeah, actually I did. It's like a Super Mario wallet, like all my IDs in there, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, someone dropped it off this morning. They said they found it at a Tim Hortons. I didn't go to a Tim Hortons. So someone found my wallet somewhere else. And you know what? All my ID was in this wallet and only $20 was missing. There was still $60 in this wallet. So someone took $20, bought Tim Hortons, dropped it off at the cops, and said they found it there. And then, then I got all my ID back the next morning. I had to tell my husband we had to go to the police station because they had my stuff. But you know, it was good. It was. Whoever did that, thank you. You saved
like
me a lot of headaches.
$20 is quite a price to pay because it's a pain in the ass to redo all your ID. Like I would gladly take you can take that $20 just to get back my wallet.
Taken the whole 80. They could have taken the whole 80, and I was still thankful that they dropped my. I couldn't believe they dropped it off at like a police station. But I'm very thankful.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All that work, saving time, and plus the wallet itself was probably $20 to start with.
I got it at like a Comic-Con. Like it was like a Super Mario wallet. Yeah,
I have a story. Where my debit card got stolen. Sorta. Okay, I was friends with this girl. She was not a friend, by the way. And we worked together. And so some backstory. I went to the casino with her one time. I let her punch in my PIN for my debit card to get money for a casino and whatever. I didn't think she would remember. I know, I'm fucking stupid. Anyway, so then, a couple weeks later, we're going to a bar and we're drinking and whatever. And I go into my pockets and I'm like, fuck, I lost my debit card. Now I don't carry a wallet. I just carry loose debit cards because I'm stupid. And
or have your friends carry it for you.
Everyone else has to carry all your stuff. Yeah.
So then I'm like, shit, I can't find it. And then I go to the bathroom, come back, and then my friend was like, oh no, it was on the floor. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I pay for my drinks and we leave. The next day I check my bank account and there was $200 missing. So, and I couldn't prove it was her. Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. Right. Cause she was seeming like the good friend who found my card on the floor. No. I mean, obviously later on I connected the dots and be like, shit's fishy, but, and it was literally 2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh, that's the worst. I call me paranoid. I have tap turned off on my cards, all my cards. Except my one credit card that I use for travel. Everything else, tap is off because I get so paranoid because I'm like, they could just spend under a certain amount and use my card all the time. And my ex used to take my bank card all the time. So it kind of stressed me out to this point where it's every time I get a new card from the bank, I always have to let them know, make sure tap is off. Make sure tap is up. I'm not tapping. So it's if I'm buying something that's $4, you're going to have to let me enter my PIN. I'm sorry. Wait, patience.
But your cards are insured, right? Even if someone does tap, you can get that money back. Your cards are insured under the $200 or whatever.
And it's still out that money until the bank fixes it. It's not...
the whole thing is a fucking headache. No matter what. I didn't even attempt to figure out how she did it.
Source. Yeah.
Because it's a headache. And the fact that it was my mistake to even let her know the PIN.
That's just victim blaming. No, that's not your fault. You should be able to leave a pile of money in front of someone and no one touch it.
I know, but they tell you all the time, you do not give your PIN, do not give your PIN. So whatever, but my mistake, whatever. Lesson learned is what it is. Yeah.
You want to give me your PIN?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, you guys ready?
Redacted.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's only 4. See, my brain doesn't. So my brain no longer works. I don't know what happened. I had trouble before. You guys know, before I was a little bit
the before
distracted.
brain. We get it. Yeah.
The before brain was distracted. And then this medication. And then I was I felt I wasn't stupid anymore. And that was great. There was no more brain fog. And I'm now I can't count. I was hey.
Take your meds, folks.
Take your meds. And like I joke with Kyle like all the time, like maybe I didn't have depression. I only have ADHD. Like that's what
you can have both. You know that, right?
No. I know.
Well, and sometimes like having undiagnosed ADHD can cause depression.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not getting treated for like so many years for anything, you're gonna get depressed. That's just
yeah. And then like my depression is also because of my anxiety. Like it's not the good anxiety; it's the bad one. Not that there's like a good anxiety, but like
it's like a better anxiety.
There are. If you could choose anxieties, this is not the one I would choose.
I want the one where I'm productive, not the one where I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Speaking of anxiety, I actually have an anxiety story that happened this week too.
Yeah.
She found it.
Okay.
She found her anxiety.
Okay. After this, I know this is like, broadcasted everywhere, but no one will ever mention this again, how I love my husband. So anyway, took a nap with him. He woke up, wanted to go get coffee, right? I was like, whatever, I'm half asleep. I don't give a shit. I'm thinking he's going to come back with coffee. Fuck yeah. He doesn't return. I guess while he was gone to get coffee, he seen how much snow and stuff was out. And he's like, oh, I should go to my mom's and shovel. So I wake up and I realize he's not home. And an hour later, I'm like panicking. Like, I'm thinking he's dead. I'm literally on my phone and within seconds searching if there was car accidents in my surrounding area.
Instead of like contacting him, you're like
I texted him like 50 times and like there was no answer because he was too busy at his mom's shoveling.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the verge of calling hospitals asking if my husband is there. Like instead of calling his mom or anything, because and then eventually he got back to me, like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I seen that like there was snow and I went to my mom's and whatever, which I should have figured because if he's not home, he's at work or at his mom's. And I didn't think of that. So I went into like some serious paranoia and I was like, shit, I'm going to be alone with these fucking kids. I'm going to have to raise them by myself. I have to plan a funeral. These were my thoughts. I was like, yeah, no,
Aww.
It was bad. It was serious anxiety. Like that's my biggest anxiety is that Dave's going to die and leave me alone with my children. And I can't handle that.
Paranoia anxiety is the worst because I feel like if it happens like a lot or like, the paranoia is so crazy, eventually you'll like you'll be like, this is insane. This couldn't happen. But then you still feel like it happens and like it's happening. And then you have like this fight. Like I remember for like a few probably months, but probably like few days a week, I would like have like paranoia delusions where I thought like someone was coming to my house to like get me. So I would just like stare outside every window that I walk, and in my brain I'm like, who cares about me that much that they want me dead? Like who? Name one person. Like
you try to like
the problem in your life was no one provided effort. Someone's gonna put effort into killing you. Like no, but in my head I'm like, no, someone is, and then like eventually it was like, oh, I'm just paranoid.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like what do you do? It's you're like your brain's telling you one thing. Yeah.
That's what so I have general anxiety disorder. So all day, every day, there's always worst case scenarios going through my head. Like my terrible things happening to everybody I care about. And then I also have OCD where I'm like, if I don't think these things, those bad things are actually going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So like there'll be a time where my brain is like, okay, yeah, like, okay, like things aren't going to happen. It's fine. Like, you're rationalized. But then the OCD thing is like, oh my God, since I'm not thinking these things, these bad things are going to happen. So like, it's fun. Like it's a fun little
cycle that feeds on itself. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. It's like depression, anxiety, paranoia. It's like the longer you're mentally ill, like the harder it is to not be mentally ill.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like mine's toned down quite a bit now. Like I'm not as bad as I was before. It's just like would have killed him to like goddamn text me that he's at his mother's, like park the car and be like, hey, I'm at my mom's. Like I was pissed. I was like, so
Kyle's not even allowed to like be at the grocery store too long. Like he's like, I'm fine. Like he has to text me. Like if he's in there for too long, like 15 minutes and he's like not out, like he has to be like, I'm fine, like relax.
Yeah, like I know my husband's
Don't be
schedule.
so crazy.
So like when he goes out of it, it freaks me out. And not because like if he dies, like I'll be lonely. It's because if he dies, I'm with my fucking kids, guy. Like I can't. That's my biggest fear. It's raising my kids.
We can like spread our commune faster.
Yeah.
I'll be like, which one of you am I moving in with? Like,
no, you just come here.
Jessica's closer.
Yeah,
like,
you just come here. That's fine.
Too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jessica, if anything happens to Dave, you're my new girlfriend.
I assume if anything happened to
relationship.
Chris, I'm moving in with one of you. I thought that was like a given. I thought that was just how it happened. I didn't think to ask.
We're in a relationship right now.
Yeah. Like we already know this is happening. Like when something happens to one of our partners, we're moving in with the other families. Like that's it. There's no if. We already have this established.
Yeah. So at the funeral, we'll like finalize everything. And be like, hey,
yeah, at the funeral. That's going to be the moment we're going to finalize the move. Not the person's going to want to mourn a little bit. God forbid. Like,
I don't have time for that. Okay. Like I got an eviction notice coming. Like, fuck that.
I was just going to say like Chris travels. So he's like sometimes gone. I think the longest he's been gone is like 2 weeks maybe. But I know when he does like more and more shows, he's going to be gone for like longer possibly. Especially if he does like a tour or something. And I don't really worry about him while he's gone. I worry that like someone's going to notice like there's no car in the driveway and think no one's home and break in and like what am I gonna do? I'm the only adult, so I have to fight them up. Like that's what I think. I'm like I'm home alone and I'm the oldest. That makes me in charge. I don't want that. I don't
need a dog.
Like
you need a dog.
I can't.
Like
I have 3 anxious cats that can't stand being around each other. I can't add a dog to that.
While you're alone.
Yeah, while I'm alone. Like all the animals would just scatter. Like like a stranger comes in, they're just like, nope. Like,
bye.
You guys saw Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like, no. He sees a stranger and he hides. Like
no.
And he's your big cat. He could have been a dog. Like
he's 35 pounds.
You should have trained him. Like
I'm trying. All he wants to do is like chase me and get belly rubs. I don't know.
Yeah. You could save all your Amazon boxes and then get a car tarp and just like put it on your driveway and be like, it's under construction car.
Oh, I should have put out my Rod Redline costume I made and just put that in the driveway. My cardboard rod. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. You know,
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, someone must be home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go there. Or they think you're just crazy. That's away. You're safe.
I always get worried because I put like pro-choice like posters on my windows and shit. Like rainbows and shit. So I'm always like worried, you know, when there's like more and more right-wing fanatics that I'm just making my house a target, but also there's like literally pro-life people across the street. So we're kind of in like a battle of like posters
I don't know,
and imagery.
Are someone taking your name in like post? Because I got that going on.
Yeah.
I don't you have the same problem I do. It's just you just realized it now.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I never thought about this dude in like 3 years. What the hell?
Yeah, no, he's obsessed.
Do you want to explain to our listeners a bit of that backstory? What you guys are talking about? Because they might not know.
So I had a friend. I'm not gonna say have because I don't talk to her. And she has a family member who apparently is obsessed with me. And for as long as I've known her, me and him have never gotten along because obviously we are opposite politically, just morally, just everything, right?
He's a disgusting human being. That's what
recently there was a restaurant with a review, like he had homophobic, transphobic, anti-drag post going on. And so we were watching it, all of us 3 were watching how this was going on. And Sonia took it upon herself to lurk one of the persons who was commenting, who happened to be my friend's family member. And so as Sonya's lurking, she comes across a post and he's like, is this Dawn? Like, yeah. This guy.
It was a recent post. It was like last month.
Yeah. Like, and he didn't even tag you in it. Didn't even have the audacity to tag you
at me. Like, just fucking at me, man. Like, if you want to know, I will answer for you. No, that wasn't me, but I will gladly be there next time. Like,
you should just comment on it. No, it's not me.
I tried to comment. He doesn't have comments on. Like, it's only for friends. Like,
I'm not his friend.
Well, then you should screenshot or take like screenshot that and then post it with your comment above saying, no, it's not me, and then tag him in it.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Be like, no, sorry, Kevin, this isn't me.
Yeah.
Like, no, it wasn't me.
Yeah, but like, it's cool that
you let me know when that's happening so I can be there. Thanks.
Yeah, it's cool that you're thinking about me. Like, it's like you live rent free in this man's brain.
I do, and I haven't talked to this dude in like even longer than 3 years. Like, because she came to my wedding, my friend that is the relative to him. And that was 3 years ago. No, 4 years. 4 years ago, I got married.
Oh, God.
And, like, I haven't talked to him in, like, maybe 10 years, 15 years. Like, I was a teenager. So, yeah, I'm going to say 15 years. This dude has me in his brain for 15 fucking years. Like,
yeah.
That's why
he's spying on your shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one that gave us a 1-star review.
Maybe
it was him.
It was him.
No, it was probably my friend or ex-friend, whatever. Like, maybe it was her.
Like, we can't be like a stranger who listened to us and generally didn't like our stuff.
No,
it was that's impossible.
No.
But the person in that video had blue hair, and I haven't had my hair blue for a year. So, like, what the fuck?
He calls the people blue-haired people, the people who are like left on the left side. He calls them blue-haired people. Like, that's his terminology for people who want equal rights.
Okay, and the funny thing is that his relative that I was friends with told me I should dye my hair blue. That she thought it would be really cool for me to dye my hair blue.
Oh, he's totally attracted to these blue-haired people that he's making fun of. Like, half these transphobes watch trans porn. That's literally like Alex Jones, type shit. Like, and that's one reason they're so against it, because they're attracted to them and they don't know how to like decide
express their feelings.
They're like, I'm not gay, and it's like, well, you're watching a trans woman, so you're right, you're not gay. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah,
it's like, we're trying to help you here out, buddy. Like,
we're trying to
like, what? But yeah, so they can't look at themselves, so and feel their own feelings, so they take it out on a minority group.
Yeah, he was a promoter, so I don't want to talk too much about it. He's a disgusting human. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But like, he's part of this entire group of people in Hamilton who share the same views, but they're like trying to be like break the scene in entertainment and stuff. Like, it's hilarious. It's fun to like laugh
the Hamilton
at them.
rappers, the Hamilton
a group of white rappers. yeah.
Eminem wannabes. Like, they grew up listening to Eminem and thought they could be the next one, and it's like, no, dude.
Well, who at your wedding, Dawn, was trying to talk to Chris about the music industry. Chris with
we're not
millions
friends
of
with him either.
listeners. Yeah, and this guy didn't even have a Spotify account. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Even my husband, who was like kind of acquaintance with him, doesn't even talk to him anymore. He's like, no. And it's funny because, okay, so I posted that status on Facebook, right? About like, are you a fan or a stalker? And so Dave messaged me. He's like, who the fuck's talking shit about you now? And I was like, I can't tell you. You'll go to prison and I'm raising these kids alone. Like, I can't. So my fear comes back, about raising these kids. And I'm like, no.
Kyle and I just laugh about those situations. He's just like, I'm sorry, this is what you married into, but
Yeah, like, well, no, because
you don't even have a reason.
You don't like agree on a situation, right? Like, or opinion of whatever. If someone says anything ill about me, even if he would agree with them, he will still kick their ass because that's his wife. And like, you don't talk shit about his wife.
Yeah,
like,
it's that old school ghetto love, right? Like,
yeah. Like, he could hate me, but the second someone else says something, he'd be like, "No, you don't say that about my wife. Like, I'll kill you." He's a Will Smith.
He's a Will Smith, right? Good for him.
He is. He's a Will Smith. He will smack someone for saying anything bad about me, even if he hates me. It won't matter. He'll still do it.
Yeah, and I don't get that. I was like, no, fight your own battles. I'm like, okay.
Chris has gotten better over the years because there was like a brief period where I had to keep defending him and myself. And I was like, I don't have the energy for this, to be fair. So I'm just going to not deal with your shit anymore. And then I stopped. And then he had to deal with his shit, which was like taking a toll. And I was like, well, if you help me with my shit, I'll take a little bit of your shit. And then now he's gotten better.
now you're taking care of each other's shit.
Well, because it used to be like his parents used to like attack me, but never in direct ways, like just enough to provoke so that if I was like aggressive, verbally to them, then they would like be like, see, look what she's irrational, she's blah blah. And I'm like, you've just been saying shit like for the past 2 hours. What are you talking about? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And he would just sit there quietly. But now he's starting to take more stances with them, and I get to sit back quietly, and it's fun to watch.
It's really hard to like talk back to your parents, no matter how old you get.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I just can't. Like, it's just,
For me, that was with my dad. It was just hard to talk to my dad in general. Good things, bad things, it didn't matter. It was hard either way. For my mom, I always talked back, but I mean, there's the reason she left when I was 14. But
I never had that talking back thing. Like with my mom, it was just don't talk to each other. So,
that's my dad.
Just don't talk to each other. Just always supportive. But when I went to things, it was mostly like, it's a weird relationship. Well, I don't have it now, but like, because she died. But like, it's always like a weird relationship between the two of us. But I do have a story on topic about finding some money.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this is pre-Dawn. This is before I moved beside Dawn Marie and we started being friends. It was the house before that.
Sonia, the early years.
The early years.
This is really early because I met her when I was 5. So
I was 6. I was 6. And we lived across the street. We lived in the industrial area. And there was this business thing where like a Brinks truck would go every day kind of thing. Well, like a literal bag of money didn't get put on the truck.
Oh, God.
And it was a lot of fun. I found it playing across the street in this business's parking lot. And I shared it with everybody, all the kids on my street, the teen, like I went to the corner store and I bought hamburgers for everybody. It was like a fun experience. I was 6. I didn't know who to return it to. And we were like really poor. So the chances of like actual giving it back to somebody were slim to none.
Yeah.
It was great.
Fair.
So it was fun. Yeah. Candy.
It was their mistake. Don't worry about it.
They have insurance. And it wasn't like, it was only loonies. Like it was a bag of loonies. It was
that must have been heavy.
It was pretty heavy. I was like hamburgers and stuff. Like it was, but back in the day, a hamburger was only like $1. Yeah. Like it was pretty cheap. And candy was still pennies and 5 cents candies. And my brothers bought smokes and stuff like that. It was I don't know. It was a great experience. I had a lot of fun finding a bag of money.
I just had more. I think I've had more things just stolen from me than I've been able to
I've had
steal.
so much stuff stolen from me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe that was like prevent. What is it? I can't even think of the word anymore. What is it when something happens before something happens? Preventive? No.
Oh no, provision.
See?
Are you just saying it's karma, like because you took that money?
No, I know she's sick.
Yeah, but like karma,
Premonitions.
No, not premonitions.
No, we're gonna move on. Fucking word is. I'm drunk.
Words are hard.
Preemptive. It was a preemptive thing. So like, although everything that's been stolen from me is about 10 times of what that bag of money was.
I know.
There might have only been $200 of loonies. Like it wasn't it wasn't the crazy amount.
A lot of burgers, though.
A lot of like it was gone in a day. Like it was neighborhood kids. Everyone got burgers. It was people at the park got burgers.
I miss that. Like I miss like I grew up in like poor housing as well. And like that, some people they would go. My neighbors a couple doors down would like go to McDonald's and buy like giant bags of just the cheap cheeseburgers and just like hand them out on the street. You know, like in the neighborhood. You know, like shit like that used to happen. I've lived in this house for like 6 years almost, and I don't know my neighbors, and not a one
for each other.
Yeah, one of them, and like I don't know their names. I probably couldn't recognize their faces, I'll be honest. I hear them sometimes, but that's about it. Like, I know nothing. So, I don't even know what they do. I don't even know how many people live in their house.
I've never been close to my neighbors. And, like, just this house now, we've lived here for, like, 16 months. And, like, I have more contact with, not just because of my dogs, but I have more contact with my neighbor in the last, like, 4 months than I've ever had contact with any neighbor I've ever had in my adult life. Like when we were kids, it was like everybody was involved because we grew up like in a very poor area and a lot like poor, like they just all take care of each other. Like it's
this community,
like poor people to go. Yeah. And I was like, well, you know, I don't want to live in that area because it's bad for your lungs. I never lived in that area when I had my kids. And then, so I've never had that sense of community as an adult. Like it's because
I know my neighbors.
Yeah, you live in
neighbors.
You live in that type of area.
Yeah, I have all my neighbors that are like went to my wedding and stuff, and like I'm really close with them. And even Sonia knows my neighbors. Like shit, she sent brownies to them.
Yeah.
They were all at my wedding. Like I had, no.
Yeah. See, you have to be poor. See, it's beneficial.
I am, but I'm the richest person in my hood. Like, we actually have, like, David's actually working. We have a car that's, like, from 2020, which is, like, new to everyone. So we're, like, the rich of the poor. It's weird.
I don't know what it is. Like, and I like, because we're, like, the youngest in this area that, like, have a house. So it's like, it's all these like older neighbors. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say hi to you. You're like 60, 70, 80. Like, I don't know what the protocol is. Like, I feel like I'm going to offend you.
We had that problem too, where we were always, because we were lucky enough to own young. And we always lived in communities where the population that owned the houses were a lot older. And so there was also really no kids in the area. And then, but luckily when we moved to like Fort Erie, there was actually a bunch of kids in the area, but the kids were old enough that you never actually had to talk to the parents. So it was nice. They just went out and played with their friends, but it was never really a sense of community like it was when I grew up. Well, maybe because like there's been inflation and stuff. Like people can't do those things. They can't buy bags of burgers to give to kids, and it's a lot harder than it used to be, and it's just been getting worse, right? Like,
and individualism has been marketed more and more as well. Like people are spending more time online and more time, you know, doing their own things in their own spaces.
Well, everything's
even
online now.
Space. Yeah, so it's like it's automatically, you know, making it harder, I guess. I don't know. When I went to like university, even like I didn't have community there because I didn't live on campus. So second, third, and fourth year, everyone already had like new people in their programs and stuff because they lived in the dorms together and did all that stuff together. And I was like, I don't know any of you, but I'm in this class, so I guess, you know. So yeah, like it's I almost miss being a kid. That's why I'm excited for our commune, because
me too,
you bitches all the time.
All the time. And we can take care of each other.
Yay!
Like, that'd be nice.
I want one of those like giant couches. You know, like the giant...
huge like you. With, like the ottoman that goes in the middle, and it can be like a giant bed thing. Like
that I want that.
I want that
have
too.
Like giant like cuddle parties with like junk food and have like a projector.
Yes.
Yeah.
With like all the blankets and pillows everywhere. And like
everywhere. Like I want to drown.
Twinkly lights.
Like you can't see me. There's so many pillows and blankets on top. Like I'm just like a face.
Yeah.
I have like a straw so I can breathe, you know?
Yeah. If you want these dreams for us to be realities, share us on all your own personal social medias. Thank you very much.
We'd appreciate it. Thank you. Make our dreams come true.
Well, and if you are listening and you hear a topic that like rings like true in your own head, you're like, oh yeah, I totally found this wallet once and blah 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 blah. Email us at opinionatedlushes@gmail.com and we'll read it. Because that interests us. I want to know your guys' lives. Yeah, these bitches I'm kind of like already sick of. I don't know. I'm kidding.
You want to cuddle with us. You just said so.
She can't wait to live with us. She's sick of us.
Of life.
Yeah. You just said you want to cuddle.
Yeah. I do.
Chris
is
TV
like furry.
Games.
So it's like
Dude,
I have to watch where I put my face. Yeah, so I have to watch where I put my face, or else it like itches, and I'm like rubbing my nose and stuff all the time. Yeah.
God doesn't understand. He's like, why won't you come close? I'm like, because you're too hairy, man. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I
don't really have any hair, so it's like I don't have like a protective layer myself.
It like rubs and it hurts. Like, there's friction burn.
I get all red, like blotchy. What's wrong? It's like you're scratching me with what? Your follicles. I don't know.
You're a Brillo pad. Like it hurts. I can wash dishes with you. Scrub the toilet. Like, come on.
Just with his arm, you know.
It does
gets
not
right in
need
there.
any scrubbage. Yeah.
That's great.
They don't want.
Yeah. Okay. What else have we found and or stolen, and or had stolen or found?
Groceries is a good thing to steal these days. You should. I'm promoting it. I'm promoting everybody. Go to your local grocer and steal something for fun. So you just if you don't need it, drop it off.
Unless it's like a small like.
Never
business.
mom and pop. Never.
No, we want corporate.
We never talk mom and pop.
Anything owned by low.
Galen Weston would be a good one.
Fucking Galen Weston. Junior. Fucking Junior.
Well, and they like literally put like stolen goods as like a loss in their budget. So it's like you need to steal a lot to even like put a dent in their budget because they already like prepared for that. So maybe we should like make them raise that a bit, you know? Dig a little more. Make them really, really want it.
Yeah, they have insurance for it, so like you should do it to help them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
just a quick steal from the grocery store.
Hey, morality and legality are not the same things.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I mean, they should be. That's what we're taught, but they're not.
Yeah. No. Fuck you, big business. There's like these things. It takes us all day to make bread. Okay, so if you get paid by the hour, it takes about $50 to make bread. But just to save $2 so I don't have to buy it from the people at the grocery store. You know, like it's cheaper to make like for like cost wise, but like it's a lot of time and stuff. So really it's not cheaper because nowadays time is money. But I don't want to give my money to those people. Like
fuck them.
I used to hate when like minimum wage here is like 14 now, but when I remember when I was working and it was like $11, like $10.25, and then it went to $11.
I was gonna say I remember when it was under $10. Like I was paid $8.75 or some shit.
That's like serving wage was $8.75 when I was when it was $10.25 minimum wage, and then it got raised to like $9.25 or $9.75 and $11 minimum wage. I was working like during that time, and I remember our bosses like freaking out about like 50 cents more an hour. But I remember doing like the math and being like, okay, after they take off taxes and I pay for my sitter and I pay for my bus tickets, I'm making $3 an hour to be here right now. Like, it's like, holy shit. Like, that's what 2 hours for like some milk. You know, it made me hate. I feel like that was where I was like, oh, time to viva la revolution. You know, that was
It's worse now though. Like,
it's so worse.
Yeah, and like people keep raising their prices again.
You're in the negatives now. Like, you're not even making any money. You're going into debt.
But
like,
that's the funny thing is like minimum wage had like a giant boost. It went from $11 to $14, like in a really short time. But inflation,
inflation is like, no, hold my beer. We got this. Like, we're gonna go way past that. Like,
and like for the last 5 years at least, all these businesses have been making record profits. So like they made each year they're making more and more money, record profits. So like it doesn't matter that minimum wage went up. That does not reflect at all in your
these record profits are what drives inflation. Like, I hate when people do like, oh, we can't raise minimum wage because it will cause inflation. It's like no. That's not how inflation works. I'm so sorry, you are misinformed. Like, if that was the case, like then inflation has been going up even when minimum wage doesn't. So how do you explain that? Like, think for like 3 seconds. Rub those two brain cells together, and maybe you'll get enough friction to like have a real thought. Like, that's not how inflation works. And I hate when people make that argument like against minimum wage. And if you're a business and you can't afford to pay a living wage to your employees, you can't afford to be in business. Sorry, tough luck. That's capitalism, baby. Yeah, like that's how capitalism works. Like, some people can't afford shit. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just like, you know, have all your needs met? That's what I'm saying. Like, you're just advocating for our episode.
I
know. It's just lies. I have like these arguments with people.
Love notes and lies.
They're so fucking dumb. Like, it's they have the same argument, and when you like prove they're wrong, they're just like,
that's my opinion.
You're just stupid. No.
They say this is as fact, and then later on they're like, that's my opinion. I'm like, I know that's your fucking opinion, but your opinion's wrong, and it's liberal? Not fact.
yeah, always. Blue-haired liberals.
Fat, ugly hoe. It's like, okay, and your point, I'm still right. Like, you can be fat, ugly, and a hoe, and still right, bitch. Like, what?
It's only lesbians who want equal rights and people to eat. It's an only lesbian issue.
I know. Lots of trans people too. They're
yes, and if you're trans, you want right things, and like,
no, but that's like only their insults. It's like, oh, you must be a lesbian because you have equal rights and food and stuff. So like that's all the straight people, even the gay men, they're not on the same fight. It's only lesbians who want people to live. Lesbians.
That's it.
That's
I'm always
I mean, if you want to call me a lesbian, I'll take it, whatever. It does not hurt me.
Are fighting the good fight. They're doing the Lord's work. Go,
we need to friend that one person that was doing the Lord's work, actually.
Oh, she was entertaining,
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, her name
Black.
is Meg. Yeah, so Meg, if you're listening, we
Meg
adore
Black,
you.
be our friend.
You made comments on the biggest post in this restaurant. I'm not naming this restaurant. You were funny. And I think we could vibe well. So if you want to be my friend,
we got to remember, we'll tag her in this episode that we gave her a shout out.
Yeah.
She doesn't even, she's like, these fucking weird bitches.
We just really appreciate you. That's all.
We must
Take
have
a compliment.
And if you want a shout out, just email us and we'll shout you out too, by the way.
We'll be
at opinionatelushes@gmail.com.
We'll email from a listener. Ooh. Ooh, and then we'll just read whatever you type.
It doesn't have to be, it could be gibberish. I don't care.
I want our listeners to email us, ask us questions, like tell us stories. We want to know.
I was just imagining gibberish and trying to read it and then going like, you know, because it's like just typing random letters and you have to like make it up. That'd be almost like a challenge. Like, who can read it?
Trying to pronounce it?
Whatever they type.
As you start speaking Sims. Like,
yeah, we should do an episode in Similese. I forget what their language is called.
Simlish?
And then have subtitles. Yeah, and then have subtitles. That would be like a fun
maybe
thing.
like a mini YouTube exclusive, because like video would need to be required for that, because I don't know how audio would work for subtitles.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I'm actually interested in this idea. This would be hilarious.
We'll come back. We'll come back to this.
Talk like we're just like talking. You know, like whatever. And then we have to type the subtitles after the conversation because we don't know what each other's saying. Right. So I'd be that almost sounds like a fun little mini YouTube thing that I might.
And then whatever happens. We only do our own subtitles. We don't do each other's.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh my god! This is a good idea.
And then make whatever happens like at the end result.
Write this down, Sonia.
Okay, make sure to follow our YouTube channel. Chanel. Our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Opinionated Lushes, where you can find these episodes, unedited videos on Saturdays. I believe our unedited books and booze on Fridays. Our sound bites and lots of other random stuff like special things like Simlish videos that we're planning on doing. So I think this is a great idea.
If we remember the next day, well, we're sober and hungover, but like
I'm going to be editing this audio, so it's recorded. We do have our 1 year coming up. We do have our 1 year coming up.
Podiversary.
Is that what it's called? Podiversary?
I thought I've been calling it. I want to catch on. I every time someone's like, "Oh, I've been doing a podcast for 8 years," I've been like, "Happy Podiversary!" So like, I want it to be like a thing. I want people to catch. I want everyone to start using. Yeah, start using it. I give permission.
Yeah. We got to figure out what we're gonna do for that episode as well. So for our Podiversary, got lots of brainstorming to do. Yeah, don't steal our ideas.
We're gonna start using it as a hashtag all over Twitter and stuff. Start hashtagging it.
Hashtagging. Hashtag.
We'll make it like trending.
You just keep saying hashtag.
Hashtag.
We gotta
do it. Trending.
Okay, for a hashtag, that's just the number sign, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they made like hashtags were like the pound sign?
That is the pound. Like the number sign is pound. And star is star. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Something else. No, star was called something else.
Star.
Star
okay,
was.
Hold on. I'm looking at my phone.
Pound was the hashtag thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Could you imagine if hashtags were stars? How that would change the entire usage of the internet? Star? Well, I use stars.
Star with your fingers
wait. No, that's a diamond. Wait, a star. Wait,
But it looks like this. It's like all like the different. It's like all this lines, you know.
How would you make a star with your hands? We're having trouble.
My little stubby fingers don't do anything.
I just keep making diamonds and shit. I don't know. Spiders. You know, here is the church, and here is the steeple. And we open the doors, and here's all the people. Star.
I do have a good sleep, you guys.
Okay, do we have any other lost item stories to tell?
No,
that wasn't even the topic. Stories of items we found.
Stuff you found. You found.
Yeah.
No.
I did not find anything.
Stuff I found. I wish I found more stuff. Just cause I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
you're
good
looking.
happens to me.
I gotta start looking. I'm gonna start walking down the highway where I live. I live off a highway. So I'm gonna start walking on the highway and just picking up random shit.
Just record all the stuff you find and make it like a TikTok, like the stuff I found on the highway.
Not people. Don't pick up the people. Okay.
I found a person. Stranger danger. Yeah.
Oh, like a live person? I was imagining like a dead person.
I have found a dead person before. Have you guys ever found a dead person?
No, but I did watch Stand By Me, and they found a dead person.
I have found a dead person. It's okay.
I have not. I'm seriously not looking.
It's not like exciting. It's a little sad.
I've been near dead people. That's about it.
I've been near dead people too. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a person slowly die, but not like die.
You didn't find it. Yeah. No, you have to find it. You can't just be like, oh, you can't just walk back in the room. Found it.
I went to the cadaver museum in at Queen's University and got to like touch dissected dead people, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
No.
Your lung feels like a sponge.
Oh no! I have a thing about textures and like I can't touch things and like that just freaks me out.
And we dared the one girl to like touch the penis, and she did. So
I would do that. I like anything else.
It's not that great. It's just skin.
Yeah, but it was like a dead penis. So it was just like
it's still skin. But they like stuff it.
Another guy was dared to like. This is how we like. Who thought it was great to bring 16-year-olds to see dead bodies? The teachers were there and they didn't do anything. They were just like, and these bodies are donated to science. So science. So they're like, we're like picking up joints and shit. And we had like someone stick their finger in the knee joint and then drop it, and they hurt their finger.
Is that like a body exhibition, like with all the muscles and stuff?
No, at Queen's University they have like a cadaver museum. So the first room is like preserved body parts, bones that have been like dehydrated. They have like a face that's split into very thin little pieces that you can like open like a book and stuff, and it's really interesting. But then you go into the back room, that's all the formaldehyde smell, and they always have a female and a male that like donated their body to science, and they're mostly like dissected and like open up, and you can like touch their body.
You guys.
Yeah, right.
So cool.
Yeah, and like it was for my like senior biology class, so that was our field trip. And then we went to lunch.
To take the kids. That's like such a good educational thing.
It was like I'm squirming over here, you guys.
it was a good experience, and apparently, like almost all the first years at Queen's University get to tour that whole area as well. No matter your major, because there's always like a benefit to learning about the body. So.
Yeah, I could never.
Queen's University, shout out!
Like some serious.
So gross.
Okay.
Like triggered right now.
I'm
like,
so sorry.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Like my skin is crawling right now, you guys. It's like just stay on my skin for a minute. Just stay.
How much alcohol do you have left? Did you finish your bottle?
Like that much. Like
well, that's great.
I've been having trouble drinking.
It's grace.
It's not.
Are you wanting me to finish it?
Yeah, I'm saying the drink word. It's grace.
It's grace. This is a grace to drink.
Okay.
Well, now I'm going to say goodnight to you, Dawn. Thank you for finishing.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.